Hi, this is Lonnie Matthews, creator of Money Live. I wanted to take a moment to introduce myself and personally thank you for agreeing to volunteer with us this year. We are really excited about this year's event. This is actually our fifth year hosting Money Live and going to be the best one yet. So now that you've agreed to volunteer, I wanted to put together this short video to kind of give you a rundown of what to expect the day of, what is expected of you as a volunteer, and just again, thank you for coming out and getting ready to share your day with us. If you've never attended a Money Live, let me say this: get ready, get ready, get ready. It's a lot of fun. Usually, once somebody volunteers, they always say they're coming back, and most of the time, people do. So we're excited that you're here. Get ready to help some high school students get their eyes open as far as what it takes to live in the real world. So watch this video. We're going to share some slides with you, kind of go over some of the roles that will be needed for you to do that day. And just, the biggest thing is be flexible. So I just wanted to take a moment to welcome you to this video. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate your time and your effort. We couldn't do it without. Hello, everyone. This is Lonnie Matthews. Again, super excited that you are going to be volunteering with us this year. This year's program will be our fifth Money Live, and it has been quite a journey, and we look forward to continuing moving forward with this amazing program. So let's just jump right in, talk about what the agenda is for this particular video. The main point of this video is to um, share with you what to expect the day of the event. So the first thing we're going to talk about is a little bit of history of Money Live, what to expect once you get there. We'll talk about the checking in process. We're also going to discuss the different roles for the program that you will have the opportunity to take advantage of. Also the merchants, which is a very important part of Money Live. And then we're going to do a little wrap up. And hopefully I will get a chance to answer all of the questions you might have regarding the Money Live program. All right, so that's our agenda. Let's just jump right into Money Live and what you can expect. Well, first of all, the history of Money Live, it goes back to 2012 when we originally did the very first Money Live. And by definition, Money Live is a program that's designed to deliver practical life and financial lessons to the students. We host this event one day a year here in the Houston area. We've also had the opportunity to take Money Live on the road to do one in Victoria, Texas, as well as in Austin, Texas. But as far as the Houston event, we normally do it in the June timeframe, right around Father's Day weekend. For various reasons. Number one, it's easier to get the Reliance Center that during that time period. Before then, it's graduations and rodeos and so on and so forth. But again, the history of Money Live was when I had an opportunity to talk to some youth several years back. I realized that high school students really have no idea of how money works and what it takes to live in the real world. I know that personally because I have a high schooler. And I thought to myself, wouldn't it be neat if I could share this information with them? So a few years back, I was talking to a group of youth, and I gave them a check of someone who makes about $45,000 a year, and they were really excited about how much money it was. Until we had to sit down and buy a car and purchase an apartment with all the amenities, cable and internet, and they were really surprised how fast the money just kind of went away. So I thought to myself, wouldn't it be nice if we can create an environment where students would really learn on a larger scale? And over the years, it has just grown tremendously. We started with about 60 students our first year in 2012. And last year, I believe we had close to 400 students come out. So our goal this year is obviously to top that number. Definitely want to have greater than 400 students. So that's a little bit about Money Live. Now, what's going to happen is students will come in, they're going to check in, right? And then they'll sit down and we're going to hype things up a little bit. Here's what you can expect. We're going to hype things up a little bit and give away some prizes because a lot of times the students kind of come kicking and screaming. They're there because their parents brought them or dropped them off. So we want to get them engaged early on. So we will have a MC. She will be on stage getting them excited. Now, one of the things we're adding this year that we started to add last year is we have a career expo as part of Money Live. We expect the students to start arriving around 8:30 or so. That's when they can check in. And then from 8:30 till 10:30, a couple of hours, we will have vendors on site from various colleges and universities. We will also have employers on site due to a partnership that we have this year with the Texas WorkSource. And so these employers will be on site to talk to the students about potential career opportunities, as well as the parents, talking to them about potential career opportunities, some of the careers that may be available with their company. So the students will have a couple of hours to interact with these individuals during that time period, and you as well as a volunteer. What we'll have going on during that time period while the students are interacting, we will have some on-site volunteer training. Our volunteer coordinator will give you a tour of the event and look at the different sections based on what you chose to do during the event. Then you will be assigned your particular task for today. So while the students are going through that, it's going to be wild, wild, wild. So we need your energy once you get there. So before the students get assigned, before you get assigned and start doing your job, depending on what you're doing, feel free to interact with the students. Don't be standoffish. Just go up, introduce yourself, talk to them while they're going through the program, and just kind of find out why they're there. Now, next, the students will be given a career. Well, we'll have some guest speakers in the morning. We have a keynote speaker. The parents will be dismissed at the 10:30 mark. We'll bring our speaker up. Speaker will do a speech for about 10-15 minutes. And then from there, we will allow the students to participate in the money simulation. And during that time period, the students will be given a career, a job, a paycheck, and then they will be challenged to go around the room during the simulation to, make their own purchases as far as housing and things like that are concerned. So, what is your role in all of that then? That's what you may be asking. Well, we have different roles when it comes to volunteers. Number one, you can help us out by working the registration table. So if you specifically chose that as your job, then you'll be busy helping students get checked in, registered, and pre-registered. For the ones that are pre-registered, it's pretty easy. You just check their name off the list, have them get their material, and participate in the Career and Job Expo. If they have not signed in or pre-registered, then they just fill out one little form and sign it on the back, and then they can grab their material and go ahead and participate in the Career and Job Expo. We will have vendors coming up, so if you're working a registration table, have the vendors check in and go ahead and set up their table. We will have other volunteers coming in at different hours, so if they come in to volunteer, have them go to the volunteer table, sign in, and get started working. The volunteer coordinator will find them after that at that point. Now that's one role that we have. We also have merchants available, and we have facilitators. So we've kind of talked about the registration desk. So again, once the students get there, just direct them, have them sign in. That part's easy, the registration part. We will also have a continental breakfast available, and that's totally free for the students. So and yourself, might I add. So grab you some breakfast once you get there, because it's going to be crazy, 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 and we won't have another chance until lunch, depending on what you do. Now let's switch gears and talk about the other role, the facilitators. Now that's a critical role as far as Money Live is concerned. What's going to happen is that students will be broken up into small manageable groups. Facilitators will be responsible for making sure the students visit each station, also making sure students are completing the workbook accurately at each station. So if you are deemed a facilitator and you signed up to be a facilitator, basically what you will be doing is once we get the Money Live explanation done and the students have filled out their workbook and we're ready to kick off the simulation, all you have to do is just grab a couple of students, I say a couple, maybe 10-15 students as a group. Let them work together as friends. If they want to stay with their friends, that's fine. And what you'll do is just make sure your group goes from table to table, filling out the items that they chose to purchase. So you're just making sure they get there. You're making sure they're completing the workbook once they leave the station. So, let's not try to everybody try to go to the same table. It's no particular order. The only thing you want to make sure is that the students get a chance to actually visit every station. So don't be afraid to start at a different station. The goal is to make sure they visit all 9 stations as part of the simulation. And also making sure they're actually going to the table, not just standing around goofing off or talking. Just kind of encourage them. And this would be a great time to connect with the students as well, find out what their interests are and what they're planning on doing, right? All right, so that's the facilitator role. The other role, which is a very important role, might I add, is the merchant. So if you signed up to be a merchant, this is a fun role, but it can be a lot of work as well, because what's going to happen is each station, we're going to have 9 different stations. Each station is going to have 2 tables, and the goal is to have 4 merchants per station so we can get the students through that station as quickly as possible. So it says here the role of the merchant is to engage the students when they visit the booth. As the merchant, you are encouraged to sell the students your goods and services. The goal is to sell them, not to help them make the right decision. If we had a guy who last year, I believe he made about $3,800 a month between him and his wife. And he went to the car station and they talked him into getting a his and her Lexus package. Each Lexus was about $800 a month. So the student was spending about $1,600 a month on cars, making about $3,800. So you can imagine that by the time he got done, his budget was busted. But the whole point here is to let them decide as consumers. So that's a teachable moment. That student did end up going back to the car dealer later on and exchanging those 2 Lexuses for 2 Corollas to fit in his budget. So it was a great learning experience. I promise you, he won't just run out and buy 2 Lexuses in real life, making $3,800. So the goal here is to just engage and sell your product. Keep them moving though. Don't drag out the decision process, because we do need to get the line moving and keep it moving. We're going to have about 400 students, so don't drag out the sales part too much. Just kind of let them get up there. Hey, look, go ahead and get this car. You want a new car. You don't want to drive a used car, blah, blah, blah. You want a nice house. Don't sit there and get an old house while you're renting. You need to get a house. If they're at the mall is kind of a unique station because it is not required that they buy anything at the mall. But let's face it, they will need to buy stuff at the mall, like their cell phones and TVs. Most of the items at the mall station, though, they have to make payments on. So you can still sell them on that. That, hey, it's only a few dollars a month. All the other stations are required to attend and participate in. So just wanted to kind of let you know what you're going to be expected to do as a merchant. It's just sell, 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 sell. All right. Now that we've talked about the 3 major roles, there will be some other roles available during the event. Like for general help, we're going to need some folks to help with the parent workshops, making sure the parents where they are, helping out the facilitators in the parent workshops by passing out the surveys, taking up the surveys. So if you want to do something like that, that's all well and good. We also have a couple of unique roles where I like to call them the fickle finger of faith, where the students will be given a slip of paper, and the slip of paper can be something good, like, hey, you got an extra $200, or it could be something bad, like your daughter needs braces and it's going to cost you $300. We only have a couple of those roles available, but they will be something that you can do. So those are the general help ideas. The next thing I want you to do, if you have not done so already, is once you registered, obviously if you registered, you have registered because you're listening to this video. But if you have not, connect with us on social media and help us spread the word. We're going to be doing our grassroots campaign, trying to get the word out as much as possible without having to spend a whole lot of money on advertisement. We've been very successful. Not sure how we keep reaching all these students, but they keep coming, and we haven't spent a whole lot on advertising over the years. So connect with us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. We're also going to add Snapchat. I have no idea what that is, but I'm going to let my 13-year-old set us up on that as well. So here are the different merchants that will be available. Some of these merchants are already spoken forward because of some of our sponsors that have agreed to come out. And that doesn't mean they're going to have, a lockdown on those. They just kind of said, hey, we want to work the fun stuff table, which is fine. They're a sponsor. But if they don't show up, then we definitely will need merchants there. Our greatest need will be for merchants. The facilitators, that's a great role to have if we have extra people. But the truth is, we really need folks to be a merchant and cover that base as quickly as possible. So there you have it. That's a quick little training session on what to expect the day of for Money Live. Again, I'm excited that you guys have decided to join us, and we are really looking forward to you coming out. If you um, know of anyone that has a student that would benefit from this program, please feel free to share our information. If you know of anyone that might have fun volunteering to something like this, also share this information with them as well. This is a very family friendly event, so if you have some younger ones and if you don't mind them coming out and being a part of the crowd, feel free to bring them out. We've had volunteers bring their younger students out. They've gone through the program as well, so it's just a lot of fun. We're going to have a lot of activities that we do for the students. Great environment. So that's the training video for Money Live. I hope this was helpful in getting you a better understanding of what to expect the day of. We look forward to you being there. Also, before I forget, look out for an email from me. We're going to have a parking pass available for you to get into the NRG Center. Please, one parking pass per carload. And we will have lunch available on site for our volunteers. Chick-fil-A will be on hand and they will have sandwiches available. And we're going to have coupons for you to get $3 off of the sandwich. I think the sandwiches are like $6 per sandwich. So we'll give you a coupon to get half off of your lunch during the Money Live event for lunch. We also will have the snacks and the food available. We'll have chips and popcorn and things like that. That's totally free. But I did want to let you know this piece. Please be prepared to, bring $3 to purchase a Chick-fil-A sandwich if you choose to do so as well. So thank you so much. Look forward to you coming out. Money Live 2016.